Check, check. Oh, my goodness. Hello, everybody. As you can see, our competitors are practicing level 19. And very soon, we will engage in a Tetris speedrun. Starting at level 0, who will be the first to get to level 19? Players, are you guys sufficiently warmed up? Are you ready to try the speed run? I'm going to give you guys a countdown, and then we will begin. You let me know when we're ready. Start from level 0, the first to get to 19. Don't start without my count.
There's only one chance.
You get one chance.
Yeah, one race.
If you top out, it's over. You will never, ever, ever be able to try again.
And you have, if no one finishes, no one advances.
Yeah, if no one finishes, nobody advances, and that would be embarrassing. So one of you at least, please. Go slowly if you have to. All right, ready? Are we all in good position here? Okay. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So the key here in the early levels, as you can see, especially if you've been watching the Classic Tetris World Championships, it looks painfully slow. But the strategy here is to use the down drop as quickly and as often as possible to progress as quickly as possible so that you can get to level 19. Speaking of speedruns, did you see the individual that beat the Super Mario record the other day? He shaved off 0.2 seconds. I think it's 4 minutes and 55 seconds now. Incredible. So Frank is at level 2. He is the first one and only one so far. Still level 1. Looks like Justin has made his way to level 2. All of them now have made it. Some cleaning up to do for Justin. Oh, and that was an unfortunate drop there of the O piece. Frank has got a nice board. Svavar is ready for a Tetris. And there it is. Boom, Tetris for Svavar. Frank, on the bottom left of your screen, is actually a former Nintendo World Championship competitor. Does anyone remember Terry Lee Torok's cummerbund from that tournament? I do. Frank is leading the way right now with 45 lines, but Svavar's leading the way as he's had more Tetrises. 72% Tetris rate right now. Another thing you'll notice is there's some new statistics. One of the reasons we wanted to do this Friday stream was because we wanted to test out some of the new statistics that we wanted to implement into the tournament this year in 2018. You'll notice TRT and a percentage. That means Tetris rate. So at what percentage are these competitors achieving a Tetris? Svavar, for example, is at 77%. How many BRN is a burn? How many lines have you had to burn before achieving a Tetris. Since your last Tetris, how many lines have you had to burn is BRN. There's a couple of other ones as well that we will keep secret, I suppose, until you see them tomorrow. There's also a drought, well, we've had that in the past, drought counter, of course. Svavar is leading the way. He actually has more points than the other three combined at this point. He comes to us from Iceland. He traveled here for this. He's actually a two-time Classic Tetris European champion and the reigning champion. So he is definitely, though you may not have heard his name often in previous tournaments, you may certainly remember his name after this tournament. A big international flavor this year at the Classic Tetris World Championships. And it has been said often, and we'll say it again, that this could be the deepest field of possible contenders that this tournament has ever seen. Players from Europe, from Asia, all around America, vying for the crown. So Justin doing a lot of cleanup right now. His burn rate is at 92 right now, so he's really trying to create a well here. He's doing a good job of getting the singles and doubles. Maybe with a little more cleanup, we'll be ready to create himself a nice well, but he still has got a little bit of a ways to go. Lars, on the other hand, just has that, and there you go. Now he's got opportunity to build his well on the left-hand side. He'll do so, burning a little bit there. Oh, interesting placement of his eye block or his L block there. His eye block, pardon me. Misspoke. Meanwhile, Svavar is just cruising through 119 lines. He leads the way there too as well. 204,000 points. 77% Tetris rate. Make that 78%. That means that 78% of his points have been, lines, pardon me, 78% of his lines have been achieved via Tetris. We may have to change the amount of time that we use Boom Tetris for name because of this statistic now. The commentary might change this year, folks. You just never know. Hey, there's another baby. Hi, baby. Hello. Hi. Yeah, you're waving at me. Hi. I like your bib. Very cool. Enjoying Tetris. Chris's last name is Tang, right? Little bit of a spoiler alert here. Our main commentator, Chris Tang, is in the audience. And spoiler alert, folks, he got a haircut. I cannot believe it. For years, you have been used to the flow of Chris Tang, and now it's cut. We need to get to the bottom of this. Why did this happen? Maybe he's going to keep us in suspense until Sunday. We don't know. But it has been cut, folks. An era is over. The end of an era. How are we doing here? Svavar doing a terrific job of creating as well. Oh, I thought he was going to go for the eye tuck there. Jonas does that often in his streams, the eye tuck. A triple there for Lars, who's in a little bit of trouble there. He's just got a minor cleanup there. Meanwhile, finally a Tetris for Justin. Frank in good position as well. All four individuals now in six-figure scores. What are the other... So 10 minutes has elapsed. It's over for Lars, so Lars does not advance. The other three will continue.
I don't know, I wasn't watching. We were talking.
So Justin is the lone person that needs to finish now.
Lars, did you get to 19?
Oh, you did not. Okay. So Lars did not get to 19. He is out of competition. Svavar and Frank both got to 19.
Only one person advances. We need to maybe ask around.
Who was the fastest? Svavar was? Probably, but I don't know. Who was the fastest? Do you know? Was it Svavar that one?
Svavar, you were the fastest, right? I think you were the fastest, right? So Svavar was the fastest of the four. A round of applause for Svavar. With a score of 432,274, and that was about 10 minutes and 23 seconds. We'll go with that, 10:23. So Svavar has set the bar at 10 minutes and 23 seconds. By the way, is anyone sending these to Twin Galaxies? Please do. Let's just pepper them with submissions so they immediately world record it. Our next four competitors will now sit down. Svavar will move on to the next round. How many rounds are there?
Okay, so it's 4, 4, and 4.
So what's going to happen now is that was the first block of 4.
I'll say it. Okay, next up we have Joseph Salee, SQR, Paul Tessie, and Friday Witch. I just didn't want to forget it. So it's 4 block, and 2 finals. No, it's 4 blocks and 4.
Oh, okay.
4 finals. So I think when someone gets 19 first, just say, you know, we weren't, honestly, he was telling me what the other stats were, so we were on my bad. I just wasn't paying attention. It's my bad. Stop watching it. I'm going to do something. Okay, sweet. Thanks, man.
All right, so Svavar wins heat number 1. There are 4 heats in total, and then the winners of each heat will meet in a 4-way final. That is how this will go down. So I'm going to give you guys a countdown when you're ready. I'm going to count back from 5, and when I say go, that's when you go. So don't go yet. Just set yourself up, starting at level 0. The first person to 19 wins. Little bit of confusion on the first round. Apologies on that. Svavar did win. He had a time of 10:23. That we got. So, is everybody ready? Okay, on go. Okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And they're off. The first person to 19 will advance. By the way, we're all getting rickrolled right now, if you haven't noticed. How dare you, Portland Retro Gaming Expo? Nice well being created there by Paul. Joseph has a terrific well going on right now. Boom, Tetris for Joseph. To quote the great Chris Tang. Joseph still with an outstanding well. And you can play this high because you are at level 0. Don't know if it necessarily suits you in terms of the speed run aspect of it, but you can play there with less risk simply because you are playing at such a slow speed. Joseph at an 85% Tetris rate. Jessica with a little bit of cleanup to do, but nothing too damaging. Able to get herself out of it. A great well now. Waiting for that line. She's got a Burn count of 13 right now. Little unfortunate there as she waited for that line. That's going to be a triple for Paul, meanwhile, who was hoping for a Tetris there. Has a hole at the very bottom of his well, or at the bottom of his wall. Joseph has some cleanup to do. So Svavar won heat number 1. Joseph, SQR, Paul, and Friday are playing right now. That's heat number 2. Alex, Green Tea, Patrick, and David McDonald are heat number 3. And then Kowser, Mike Winzenek, I apologize if I pronounced that incorrectly. Robin and Chris Tang are heat number 4. Chris, are you going to do your own commentary? Should we just give you a mic and just do it yourself? One-handed Tetris speedrun? We should give you a cordless mic like to hang on your ear. SQR is flirting with death right now. He's got a burn there, but again, remember, this is a slow pace for these competitors. And there's your boom Tetris for SQR. He needed that line, and he got the line. Meanwhile, Joseph has a terrific well. Friday is out. Friday has been eliminated from competition. We are at level 5 right now. 2 minutes and 45 seconds have elapsed. How are things going?
Yeah, I was writing these down for you.
Joseph with a Tetris. That L block, though, was just, unfortunately... Joseph has the lead right now and needed to do just a little bit of cleanup there, and he was second guessing the Z block there. T block in nice position. Now he's cruising. Let's look at Paul. Paul has a nice well forming. Decided to put that J block in position there. He is gonna burn an I block right there. He's putting his pieces in great position. He's just building high. That's a Tetris. Great positioning for Paul. He looks like he's in the groove. His well is very nice. Had to leave a hole open there, but it will continue on. Meanwhile, SQR has a little bit of cleanup, but he'll get a Tetris right there. His Tetris rate is at 44%. Meanwhile, Joseph leads the way with 61%. Ooh, a poor placement by Paul. He wishes he had that one back. He's going to need to do some cleanup, and he's high up already as it is. Joseph is at level 9. A great well being formed. Paul is in trouble at the bottom left. A drought formed for Joseph. He needs a line and fast. He's going to need to burn a couple lines. He gets that line. Boom! Tetris for Joseph. Meanwhile, SQR. Oh, no, Paul does not get to level double digits. He is out. It's down to SQR and Joseph. Joseph has some cleaning up to do. SQR looking to survive. Will get a Tetris right now. Joseph is way ahead. He's ahead by a Tetris right now. Now he's ahead by 2. He's running away with it, and he's got a nice clean board right now as well. Able to use the down drop at level 11. His drought is at 15. It's growing. Meanwhile, SQR with a Tetris. Great Tetris there as well. Another Tetris in tow for Joseph. He gets to level 12. 61%. And he will opt to create a Tetris. Well, he's Tetris ready now. Needing to burn is SQR. He's at 7 now. Burning there for Joseph as well. Level 12. Tetris for Joseph. It continues on. He's at level 13 with a 61% burn rate. 5 minutes and 52 seconds has elapsed. Nice tuck there. A T tuck by Joseph. SQR will top out. It's now down to Joseph versus himself. What time will he get? Svavar got 10 minutes and 23 seconds. He has 4 minutes to spare right now. Another Tetris. Joseph will just take his time. Oh, he's not happy with that placement of his I block right there. 2 O blocks in a row. He will burn. If Joseph can get to level 19, he will go to the finals. If he cannot, then we will only have 3 or less in the finals. Another Tetris. 62%, 6 minutes and 45 seconds have elapsed. Another Tetris, level 16 for Joseph. The DJ playing CNC Music Factory. Not happy with that O block. Great T block save there. Nice cleanup. Great positioning. Joseph getting close to 19, 7 minutes and 35 seconds. 18, he is getting close. He's on pace to beating Svarvar's time. Both of them already will make it to the finals if Joseph keeps up the pace. We are ready to stop the clock as necessary. He's just gonna singles to singles, and that is 7 minutes and 57 seconds. And that is now the time to beat, Adam.
That's a really fantastic time. I predicted that around 8 minutes would be the threshold for the top players, so that's going to be the time to beat.
Adam, a very innovative concept that you've created here, a nice speedrun touch to Tetris.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the speedrun community, and particularly Games Done Quick. And we had a co-event with Games Done Quick, and I just fell in love with speedrun. So I really want to bring the speedrun mentality to Tetris however I can, and I thought this was an exciting way, and it also tips the cap to the Nintendo World Championship play style, which is one of my favorites, where you build up really high to advance through the levels more quickly. So I'm a big fan.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
Now,
especially
looking at these stats, you see that Joseph's
So tell us what we're seeing here in terms of the final statistics.
Yeah, so up there, the TRT stands for Tetris rate, which is 55%. That means the percentage of your total lines scored that were scored in the form of a Tetris. And actually, a max-out game usually has a total Tetris rate of around 60%. Of course, there's some variance there. Then there's, of course, the eyepiece, or what we call the long bar sometimes. That's how many you got. Next would be the points per line. That's the average points you scored per line.
So Joseph with a very impressive over 1,800 points per line, and that goes back to his Tetris rate being 55%.
Exactly. So those statistics go hand in hand, of course. And now the transition score indicates the number of points you scored at the point that you transition to level 19 speed. And that's a really important statistic in the main events matches starting on Sunday, because that kind of shows you what kind of game was happening. You know, this wouldn't have been a max-out game, but it was a pretty solid game.
So for those in attendance, what would be the pace of points to get to a max-out?
Usually you have to be in the high 500s to be in a comfortable position to max out. Now, don't get me wrong, players like Jonas, Corian, and what have you, they could score a 480 and potentially max out, but really if you're going for a max out, you want to be in the high 500s or even in the 600 area. So that's a good benchmark to sort of get a sense of how the game played out. And then we'll look at the next statistic is drought total. That's the total number of droughts, which is 13 or more pieces without a long bar that you experienced.
Which makes it even more impressive. If you look at Joseph's statistics, he still, despite having 9 droughts of over 13 pieces without a line, was still able to get a 55% Tetris rate, which is impressive.
Exactly, exactly. Now, as we continue this conversation, let's go ahead and bring up the next group. All right, everyone pay attention. We're going to have Alex, Green Tea, Patrick or Packy, who you'll remember won Dr. Mario, and David McDonald. Come to the stage for your speedrun heat. That's Alex Kerr, Green Tea, Packy, and David McDonald.
All right. So Alex, Green Tea, Patrick, and David McDonald. Patrick, of course, if you weren't here earlier, is your winner of the Dr. Mario tournament that we streamed earlier this afternoon.
He is legitimately the greatest Dr. Mario player in the country as far as we know, and at least in a competition setting. And
this is correct.
He's brought those skills and that speed of thought to the game of Tetris, so who knows, if he continues to practice, we'll see if he climbs the ranks. That'll be, of course, Alex, then Green Tea on the right, and then Packy and David. I'm going to go down the chair.
All right, so just as a reminder, Svavar had a time of 10:23. He moves on to the finals. Joseph, 7:57. That's the time to beat. He will also go on to the finals. And now one of these four individuals, Alex, Green Tea, Patrick, and David McDonald, will also go on to the finals. Are you all ready? At level 0, first to 19 will make it to the finals. On go. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And there we have it, Adam. And so begins our third of 4 rounds. It's always interesting, Adam, to watch.
It looks like Green Tea was having some trouble with his down button. I don't know if his controller... Now, Green Tea, is that your controller?
Is there a problem with the controller?
Oh, boy.
Oh, it's his controller.
If someone wants to swap him out a controller live, I think we can allow that. We can't start the match over.
Who has a controller that they could swap out? His controller's acting up a little bit here. Let's see if we can just quickly get him into the game again. Oh, it looks like he's back in it, though.
He's not out of this thing yet, but he needs help quick. Looks like Trey's going to give him a new controller.
All right, so this is our first live swap out.
Now,
if Green Tea wins this one, that's super impressive now.
So remember, I know we don't usually use the down button in the normal CTWC, but this is a whole new game.
Hey.
All right.
Now that's camaraderie. It would have been funny if that controller was even worse.
Now, as you can see, Alex has taken a big lead while all that shenanigans was going on. Because he just sort of has a Tetris buried that he didn't take, and he's been playing on the second half of the board the whole time. And you see he has about a... Oh, wait, now he's behind again. But he was really ahead for a second.
Adam, it's always interesting to watch players at this speed because you're not used to seeing them compete at this speed and
That's
just
right.
their thought process, because these players are used to making split-second decisions, and it's funny to see how they react when they have more time.
They can play much more deliberately, and they can, if they need to, take time on a decision, which is a totally different style.
Patrick with a great well. Doesn't opt for the Tetris there, opts to continue to build. A nice tuck. Nice advanced move there.
A lot of you might be wondering, does it matter if you're scoring a Tetris because we're not playing for score here? Well, actually it does, because every time you do a line clear, it has a line clear animation. And the Tetris clear animation is the same length of time as a normal line clear animation. So if you were to get 4 singles, you've wasted all those seconds on animation that you wouldn't have. So scoring Tetrises gives you an advantage.
So Adam, just for those that are casual fans of Tetris or just stop to watch this, how does the level progression work? At what milestones are they getting to level 19?
Well, when you start on level 0, the game progresses as it was designed to progress, which is 10 lines per level. And so really, since there is a level 0, level 19 is effectively the 20th level to reach. And it is a very obvious milestone in the game to reach, and that's why I felt it would be a good speed run. It's sort of like, in a sense, it's like you've advanced to death mode is one way of looking at it. And once you're in level 19, you can't control your speed that much, because if you try to play high on 19, you probably just are going to top out. So.
And of course, for those who have not played level 19 in the audience right now, that's when the speed of the game drastically changes.
All right. All our players hanging in there. We've got Alex with 64 lines, Green Tea with 55, Packy with 67, and Dave with 60. So that puts Packy in the lead, but not by a wide margin.
And he's got a nice well that he's creating here.
Alex,
so remember, it's 10 lines per level.
Alex just got over a 30-piece drought. But the droughts, in a way, kind of help you because they force you to play high, unless they kill you. So it's
which normally would happen if they're playing at the higher levels, of course.
yeah. So this game is almost backwards. You want to push down. Droughts aren't that bad in this game. The only thing that's the same is that you want to score Tetrises.
For those who haven't watched the CTWC before, you normally wouldn't see this high of play intentionally.
Absolutely. If you're on 18 and playing as high as, say, Green Tea's playing, your game would be over. So it really provides us an opportunity to see a whole new style and a different type of death-defying game. I've seen players tuck pieces flush with the top of the matrix multiple times to the left, and you would never see that in a normal CTWC game. So it's a fun variation here.
Alex is halfway there. He's at level 9. The first one to get there. He's got an 82,000 score. His burn level right now is 18, but he's got a well, so he's just waiting for that piece. He almost is at drought territory right now.
Green Tea's in a little bit of trouble, and now his speed has advanced a little bit, so we'll see if he can dig his way out of this. And if he can, oh, see, on level 8, he can shove that all the way over there. But if he doesn't get what he needs, he's in trouble. Oh, boy.
He tried his best to survive.
Let's give a hand to Green Tea.
Yeah, big round of applause for Green Tea. He suffered the controller issue at the beginning.
He came all the way from Japan to be here, and we couldn't be happier that we have all these international players. And he's another, I believe he's maxed out in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 times, so he's a legit contender here.
Talk to us about just the idea that so many players are maxing out so regularly. Max out, of course, is a score of 999,999. Can't get a higher score than that in this game, untouched, no game genie. Just talk to us about how routine it is now, how common it has become in just the level of play.
Yeah, well, when we began this project, some people doubted that a max out was even possible. When Harry first posted his max out on Twin Galaxies, it actually caused some controversy because people that were familiar with the game just couldn't understand how you could do that. And it was because people didn't understand DAS and they didn't understand how to control the pieces as well as our top players do now. But I think nowadays you see players from other game genres who are competitive gamers pick it up, and it takes them maybe a year and they'll score a max out, but a lot of that's because they can watch the YouTube videos online and learn all the moves. When you're in a vacuum in 1990, when you're Thor Ackerland, you're the only player that's as good as yourself. There's no one to look to. There's no tips online. He had to just figure it out. So it becomes this epic journey when you're in that vacuum. But now there's just hours and hours and hours of footage to review, and it really does make you play better when you watch the great players.
Just to reset and explain what's happening right now, we have a level, all of them essentially are now at level 14, so they are 5 levels away. It looks like Patrick is leading the way right now. Alex has a drought. He's going to have to burn some lines, and he's finally got his line, but not for his Tetris. Meanwhile, David playing very well. He's got a nice low playing field. Patrick in the best position right now. He's developing as well very nicely. Tetris for Patrick.
Very close match. Alex just got the 16.
67% Tetris rate.
That's incredible. That's a great Tetris rate.
And to maintain that, especially as the speed gets faster, is very impressive.
That's right. That's right. And you'll see a Tetris rate of around 70%. It's about usually as good as you're going to see in these early rounds. So 65 is close to perfect. And you see David has a beautiful wall, really high, really clean. He could use a little help with the right piece. He gets the J he needs. And there's the long bar for David. Oh, he chose to scoop it over.
A Tetris for Patrick. We're at level 17. Right now we're at 8 minutes and 38 seconds. So we're wedged in between Joseph and Svavar's scores right now. Oh, no, David. Oh, David tops out at level 16. Round of applause for David.
He did suffer from 5 droughts, and ultimately that put the pressure on.
Tetris for Patrick. He's about to get to 9. Both of them are about to get to 19.
Only 2 more lines for Alex.
This is a race to the finish right here. Who will get to 19? Alex made it. 9 minutes and 11 seconds. Congratulations. And Patrick just makes it in hot pursuit. But Alex, with 9 minutes and 11 seconds.
Alex had a brutal game with 10 droughts. and a drought max of 33. Incredible. His Tetris rate was not very high. He only had a Tetris rate of 33% versus Packy's Tetris rate of 64%. And Alex closed that gap with playing very high. He played high most of the game, and the droughts actually pushed him higher than he probably wanted to be.
So very impressive performance by Alex, who will make it to the finals now. Let's get Kauser, Mike Winzenek, Robin, and Chris Tang to the table, please.
Congratulations, Alex.
So Alex, you're going to stick around for the finals. Maybe change seats with Chris.
So this will be our NWC round in that we've got Mike Winzenek, Chris Tang, Robin Mihara, all Nintendo World Champions from 1990 when they were just young men. In the case of Chris and Robin, they were around 13. And I believe Mike Winzenek would have been around 17 at that time. Right. So these are the guys who are the masters of slamming pieces down and stacking high, because back in the Nintendo World Championships, that's how you cleared through the rounds quicker. And we see Kauser there with his strange hairstyle.
So there you have your first look at Chris Tang's new hairdo.
Yes, we have lots of new hairdos, or lack of hairdos, as it may.
It's been chopped.
As it may be.
This is the hair round, or in one case, lack thereof.
Now you'll see.
There we go. That's how you combat it.
Oh.
That's how you combat it. You put the hood up.
That's how you put your game face on. Now we see.
Feel free, all of you, to check your controllers so we don't have a mishap like we had the last game. Feel free to just have a couple of minutes of exhibition here.
Check that down button. You want a really sharp down button for this round. Now, Kauser, he did win our No Next Box tournament that was done on Nubbin's Goodies channel. That was really exciting. It somewhat unsurprisingly, the most exciting match was between the two hyper tappers on that one, which was Kauser and Joseph. And the No Next Box is so difficult. It's like playing blindfolded practically, and if you have that extra time the hyper tapping allows, it gave them an insurmountable advantage. We see a certain Larry Long is in the house. Let's give it up for Larry Long. It's exciting to have him here.
Really? Yeah.
All right, let's, you guys are sufficiently practiced. All right, let's get back to it. So we're going to get started here in our final round. When you guys are ready, I'll say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and you guys start on go.
Everybody ready?
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
I mean, technically, we said start on go, and we haven't said go, so.
Oh, well, they got the drift.
Yeah, I think we got it.
I think that's it. Korion's starting off with a drought, but he doesn't care because he doesn't even want the long bar. He just wants to build up that wall as high as he can. See, Robin Mihara is nice and clean and high, and you saw he got the long bar and he passed up on the Tetris because people are trying to get their wall as high as they can. All right, Chris Tang with the Quaid well, and he's going to slam that Tetris down. Tetris for Chris Tang with a 50% Tetris rate.
If Chris gets enough Tetrises in this game, maybe we can sell some Boom Tetris for Chris t-shirts.
That is my dream. The meme becomes even more meta with each passing tournament.
Boom Tetris for Chris.
And Corian really building high.
No, it's not boom. It's like bang, Tetris for
Yeah,
Chris. It's like a different word altogether.
Exactly, precisely.
Pow, Tetris for Chris. Actually, every Tetris we're going to give a different word.
Kapowie.
It's like 60s Batman. Zop, Tetris for Chris.
All right, now Mike is very low, and he just took a Tetris. And as we can see, Kowser, that's a... It's like Robin's out in front with 31 lines, but Mike Winsbeck has a
Tetris
clean
for
Tetris ball.
Kowser.
And Mike takes the lead with 34 lines. Yeah.
Very high is Corian right now. Oh, he needed that line, and he got another one too. Well, he's not going to use it though. Meanwhile, Chris is doing some cleanup. Robin has a. Oh, he's gonna do the very slow tuck, the very slow T tuck.
Robin has a nice Tetris well underneath all that junk, and he's cleared it, but he's in an 18-piece drought.
So 2 minutes and 22 seconds have elapsed. Just a reminder, Svavar, Joseph, and Alex all have made it to the finals. They will be joined by our last competitor, whoever wins this one. The first one to level 19 wins. If none of them make it to level 19, then we have a 3-person final.
That's right. You have to get to level 19 or you're disqualified. And Corian's out in front with 54 lines, but Robin has tied him with 54 lines. However, Corian has the bigger stack, so he's a little bit ahead.
Nice placement by Mike. He's got a nice well right now. He is Tetris ready. And Bazinga, Tetris for Mike.
Corian way up there again, and boom, Tetris for Corian.
You mean Kowser.
Kowser, yes. All right, and Corian out in front with 68 lines. He's about to transition to level 8, or 7, sorry. Now, level 7 is notorious for its ugly color scheme.
Mike with a very impressive 67% Tetris rate.
We've got a lot of high Tetris rates here. In fact, Corian's at 66%. And Chris Tang's at 60%. So good Tetris rates all around.
Tetris ready for Corian, for Kowser, I should say. He is Tetris ready. No, he closed it off. Meanwhile, Chris is Tetris ready. Chris is Tetris ready. And biff, Tetris for Chris.
Corian way out in front.
Tetris for Chris.
Tetris for Corian with 87 lines. He's got a 10-line lead right now, and that's because he's stayed high and he stayed clean. And as we all know,
another Tetris, dual Tetris is for Robin and Chris.
And Corian's in level 9.
Chris
the
is
speed
Tetris
starts to
ready
pick up.
again.
Now we'll see if players can modulate their height as the pieces go down faster.
Now Corian is in a tough situation. He's level 9. He's in a position to need to burn now, but he's very high for level 9. He's high. I mean, he plays fast, but he's got some burning to do. Oh, he wanted that. Oh, the line came just in time.
And Robin's the second player to reach level 9 with 95 lines. He's
incredible.
Out in front. So Robin's still in this. The other guys are starting to lag behind Corian a bit too much, but we'll see what happens.
Mike with a little bit of cleanup. Chris is in great position.
Corian with a 56% Tetris rate, so it's not all about Tetris rate. It is about how high you're willing to push it. Robin on level 10 with 103 lines. He's about 14 lines behind Corian.
Bink! Tetris for Kowser.
Kowser just flying through this.
Another one. Oh, didn't go for it. I was ready.
And what was our best time so far? That would have been
7:57. Right now we're at 5:14.
So it could be a battle between the hyper tappers because Joseph Salih had that 7:57, and now Corian looked like he's going to give that a run for its money. So let's see.
Tetris ready right now is Doogie Kowser, MD. Well done.
Mike transitions to level 11 with a 57% Tetris rate.
Corian running away with it though. He's at level 13 right now.
He's out in front by almost 20 lines.
Look at his score too.
Holy cow, with a great score to boot. He's going to be tough to beat, you guys. And this is still a very comfortable speed for Corian. He looks like daredevilish to a normal player, but he's just sleepwalking through this. It's easy for him.
Incredible. We're only at 6 minutes as well. 7:57 was the record by Joseph. Boom Tetris for Kauser.
4 more levels to get through for Corian to get to the finish line. Robin with a respectable score, but this gap is just getting too big. It's going to take a miracle to catch up to Corian at this point.
It's going to take more than a feeling, I'll tell you that much. Boom Tetris for Kauser. He's at level 16, folks. He's run away with it. He's got the well. He's also got the touch.
And you can see now that he's on 18 speed, which really level 16 is when 18 speed begins, he's playing a little more conservatively, but he also knows he's so far ahead he doesn't need to push it. The other guys really need to push to the very top if they want to have a chance.
Nice well, nice opposite side well for Zip. Tetris for Chris.
Wow, Corian only 14 lines away.
Corian's running away with it, my goodness. Just his placement is it's as if it's computer generated itself.
It's a thing of beauty. Watching him stack,
Look at that
doesn't get much better. Boom, Tetris Corian, he only has 8 lines left to finish. He's on time to beat Joseph's score. He only needs 3 more lines. 3 more lines. Will he beat Joseph's score?
Well, he's got a single to go, and here it is. Boom.
725.
725 for Corian for Kauser.
That's the highest score by 30 seconds, or the best time, I should say. Congrats. So you guys, we're going to take about a 2-minute break, and then I need the top competitors to come and get ready. That's Svavar, Joseph, Alex, and, of course, Corian.
So don't go too far because we're going to start in a couple minutes, and our finals are upon us.
Let's give a round of applause to our NWC competitors from yesteryear. All right, anyone still watching, I'll just take a moment to go over these stats one more time. As you can see, we have in Chris's matrix, the Tetris rate refers to the number of the percentage of lines that were scored in the form of Tetrises. Then, of course, we have your eyepiece or long bar count, your points per line, your transition score, which in this case is 0 because the player didn't make it to level 19, the drought total, which is 5 droughts in this case, the average length of the drought, and finally the maximum drought. And then below that, there is a bar indicating the amount of points scored per level. And then, so these are some really exciting new features in our display, and it just helps give you a lot more insight into what's going on in the match. So we want to make sure everyone understands what they mean, and that'll be a new feature moving forward. Well, the big match was Corian versus Joseph. Everyone else was scoring like 1,000 points, and then Corian and Joseph were scoring like 35,000. It was just, the gap was insane. Like, I saw like Alex Kerr and, you know, I saw people like Alex Kerr just completely die. It's, the hyper tapping is too big of an advantage. The thing is, when you don't have an Xbox, you can't use gas. You know?
All right, why don't we slowly get our competitors in position. Kauser's already there. Let's get Alex, Joseph, and Svavar in position. There's Joseph. Where's Svavar at? There he is. He's in front of us. He's going to show up in just a second. So that's and there's Alex, too. Have a seat, my friends.
We have a real murderer's row here, if you ask me, because Alex has been a 2-time runner-up and really gave Jonas all he could handle last year, even though he was swept in the final round. Some great scoring. And Joseph Sully, of course, many of you know him as the first person to get to level 31, and now the first person to get to level 32. Now, I do want to put an asterisk on that, which is that Thor reports that he got to level 31 in his heyday, but there's no proof. So the first certifiable level 31 belongs to this young man, Joseph Sully, in the upper left corner.
And he did it in the span of, what, like 2 weeks?
I think he was attempting it.
Did he do it like how long did it take you to get from 31 to 32? Like a month? Yeah, it was like 3 weeks that he did it almost back-to-back. It was incredible.
His hyper tapping is scary, but of course Korion's also known for his hyper tapping. And then of course we have Svavar, who's a multiple-time Classic Tetris European champion. So really every player here that's made it to our final is a contender in the CTWC. So we really have some of our top contenders here. Now, I'd like to remind all the players to please do a practice run and make sure that your down button is working. We don't want any more green tea incidents here. And just a recap, so this was a first for us. We did our Friday side events, and the great Packy won the Dr. Mario competition, and that was a real drag-out battle. We had lots of great Dr. Mario players, including Heather Ito, who I believe is the only person who took a game against Packy today. And of course, Vince Clemente, our tournament organizer, finished second.
Boo! Boo!
And
no one? No boos for Vince?
Well, you know, he got his little taste of glory today, but I don't know if Packy is beatable in that game. He's just incredible.
Of course, the GOAT right now.
Paul Tessie played, Chris Brady played, all people who are known as great Dr. Mario players. So that was really exciting, and we're hoping to make that a new tradition here at the CTWC.
So we got Svavar, Joseph, Alex, and Kowser. Svavar 1023, Joseph 757, Alex 911, and Kowser 725. All right, let's get into position, guys, so we can start our final round. First to 19 wins, starting at 0.
Okay, is everyone ready? Give me a nod. Thumbs up. Everyone ready? Okay. Here we go. On Tetris. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And we're off.
And they're off. So like you said, Adam, this is a murderer's row of Tetris competitors at the classic Tetris level. Truly
the greatest players in the world are what you're seeing on the screen and playing an entirely new format, so this is exciting. Korian starting off with a drought, but like we say, droughts don't matter as much here in these early levels. You're almost kind of welcoming the drought. You want to build your stack up as high as possible.
We just saw it there. I mean, he put his eyepiece to the side. We had a great well forming here, so they were playing very high.
Well, look at Joseph. He's only one cell from the very top. Boom, Tetris for Joseph. You love to hear those cha-chings all around you. We just want jackpots.
I feel like I'm at a casino. We're hearing it so much.
Korion's in a little bit of a mess, but you know, he can play death-defying so high right now, it won't really matter.
So let's talk a little bit about these competitors. We alluded to it earlier. Korion most recently defeated Jonas in Hong Kong in an exhibition, and also became the first person to max out in competitive/exhibition play.
That's
recorded.
Right. That's right. You can watch it on the CTWC YouTube channel. It's called Showdown in Hong Kong. It was the Hong Kong, Video Game Commission wanted to, share the joy of classic Tetris, and they flew out Korion and Jonas, and they really put on a show. So that was a great outcome. And I mean, in fact, there was an audience member who was so impressed that he became a Twitch emoticon just watching Korion max out. It's an amazing, you really did something when you created a Twitch emoticon with your reaction.
Incredible. So Korion's certainly one of the favorites. Actually, if you were to ask Jonas, the 7-time champion of this tournament, he pinpoints Korion as the favorite in this tournament, and he said that in a recent interview. Now, looking at the rest of the field, Alex, of course, has been in the finals. He was there last year. Yeah. He always a perennial contender in this tournament.
That's right. Never count Alex out. And I think experience goes a long way. And now Korion has just that. Korion has the experience that he was lacking in previous years.
And in fact, I believe it was Alex that eliminated Korion last year.
And that's true, yes. And, I know that was a disappointing result for Korion, but the thing is, this is just a buzzsaw. When you go through this tournament, there are no easy matches. Once you get to the round of 16, you are on your toes. You are on notice that you are playing the best players in the world, and one mistake will end your tournament.
To the bottom right is Svavar. Not too much is known about him in terms of tournament competition, but we do know that he regularly maxes out in regular Tetris play when he's streaming, etc. And also, he is a 2-time Classic Tetris European champion, back-to-back, and the reigning champ.
That's right, and there are some great players out there, so that's no small feat. It is a tougher field here at the CTWC. As we can see, Joseph's right at the top. Got the long bar he needed. As we get to these levels 5, 6, and 7, there's a little more danger. They have to kind of, you know, think about how high they're stacking. But
Joseph almost got caught looking there. He was looking at his competitor's screen, and he almost misdropped as a result. He saved it, though. He's back in good position.
We're in another situation where Corion's really come out to a huge lead, and it might already be insurmountable, but it's about a 15-line lead against the rest of the field, who are all neck and neck.
And finally, the last competitor to talk about, we were just saying Joseph. Joseph, 15 years of age, has 16 years of age, pardon me. We've never seen level 32 on camera before. He did 31 and 32 in a span of 3 weeks.
Yes, he smashed the Tetris record book, and so anything's possible. And look at that, a Tetris all the way to the top. All these players need to really put their foot on the gas to have a chance against Corion, who's still up by about 15 lines. Oh, he tried to push that. Joseph tried to push that box all the way to the left.
Joseph is really pushing himself to the brink in this game.
That's right. And as we can see, Alex and Joseph are neck and neck. Corion's still out to that almost 20-line lead. It's incredible. How did he get that far ahead? It's unbelievable.
It's really down right now. Corion and Svavar are the only two to have six figures in terms of score.
And that's
but Corion's the one at level 11.
Svavar has an incredible Tetris rate of 89%, which is almost unheard of. However, somehow that's not translating to really being in this match.
4 minutes and 56 seconds have elapsed.
And
Corion is well on his way.
He's on pace to beat his last time, and I mean, it seems like he's dominating this event. And a note that Corion already won the known Xbox tournament, so he's really embracing these side games. A drought for Joseph, but he's really building beautifully. Alex and Joseph tied with 113 lines, but Corion once again about 15 lines ahead. He's dealing with a little drought. And now his board's a little... Oh, and Corion with a big mistake. That could be trouble. He really needs some help. He's going to have to hyper tap and get his way out of that. Oh, and Corion tops out. He was 15 lines ahead, so now Alex is in the lead with 125 lines. Unbelievable. Let's give a round of applause for Corion, who was really pushing the limits of this speed run. Joseph with an amazing tuck. He's got a 19-piece drought. So this is anybody's game between Joseph and Alex. We've got neck and neck 129 lines with a 30-piece drought for Joseph that he's trying to survive. Unbelievable, 33 pieces.
Sorry about that. I needed to document the incredible hyper tapping going on. I was just recording that. It's fantastic.
Joseph just chose to skip a Tetris. He is going for the gold right now.
He really is. Level 13 right now. Corion is out. He became Corion again. He took off the...
Oh, you know, that shows, even in this form of Tetris, any wrong move can kill you. And Alex takes the triple. 143 to 146. These players have about 5 levels left. So Tetris for Alex.
How about that? It was Svavar and Corion that were leading the way, and now it's Alex and Joseph that are emerging. It's a marathon, not a sprint. In a way, it is a sprint, but the marathon within the sprint. As you can see,
you have to push the brink of what you can tolerate and what risk you can tolerate, and Corion pushed it maybe a little too far. But we saw the miraculous time that was going to achieve. So Tetris for Joseph.
73% Tetris rate for Svavar. My goodness.
He is playing a perfect game of Tetris. It's not translating to a lead in time, though. So as you can see, it's neck and neck between Alex and Joseph. 164 lines. Tetris for Joseph.
7 minutes and 26 seconds have elapsed.
Players with almost identical situations. Neither one with any serious trouble.
How interesting. Corion did set the record at 7:25, but even though the record will not be broken, a new champion, so to speak, will be crowned.
Well, and we'll see, you know, hopefully we'll see people try to set a record on this format, and we'll see what the limits are.
So Corion will escape from this.
Okay, we only have 10 lines left. 10 lines left for Joseph.
With the high score, but who will it be? Alex
185, 187. Joseph 2 lines ahead. Joseph with 1 more line needed. Joseph
There it
wins.
is! Joseph has done it with a time of 8 minutes and 6 seconds. Congratulations to Joseph. Did we mention he's 16 years old? Incredible performance.
All right, and Joseph is going to win this amazing handheld system by Retrobit, one of our sponsors, and I'm going to go grab that for him right now.
How about another round of applause for our competitors here? What a great concept that was.
First off, I want to bring Joseph over here. And young man, you deserve this. It's the Go Retro Portable by Retrobit. It has hundreds of games on it. It's a really cool thing. And thank you, Retrobit, for offering that prize. And we're going to bring Arda over here to do the post-game interview. And that was really exciting to see you at work.
So I was taking pictures, that's why. So Joseph, let's get in position here. So Joseph, you win this really cool. How different was it to play in this style, trying to get as fast as possible versus tournament style?
Yeah, it's really a different play style. I'd never played like this before. I didn't prepare for this at all. Yeah, it's just truly amazing how I could pull it off. And these competitors are really great. Yeah. Oh, man.
Being the youngest competitor in this tournament, especially here, like this is good practice, right? You're seeing so many of the top competitors, and now you've really proven, even if this was exhibition, that you can hang with them.
Yes, that's right. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry, I'm really nervous.
Let's talk about your streams. Level 31, level 32. You could see the genuine excitement. I watched them where you just get there, let's go, like you're so excited to be there. Like, just take us through the effort that it took to get there and just the elation of finally doing it.
Yeah, I used the game Junico to practice on level 29 start. And yeah, once I built up the consistency, I actually played it in an actual game and I was able to pull it off. Yes.
How excited are you for the tournament this weekend?
Yeah, I'm really nervous. I don't know what's going to happen.
How about a round of applause for Joseph right here, huh? Let the nerves wash away and enjoy the experience, young man. Congratulations. You left with a prize, and so that's it for us, I believe, on the stream side. Thank you very much for joining us on this special Friday Fun stream. The action for the CTWC begins tomorrow. It starts at 10 a.m. That's when qualifiers start. So if you feel that you have what it takes to join these competitors that you just saw on stage, if you want to join the 2018 Classic Tetris World Championships, try your hand at facing the best of the best, then be here in Portland at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo tomorrow at 10 a.m. local time. And by the way, for those of you at home who cannot join us here live, you can watch live on the CTWC Twitch channel, on YouTube, and on Facebook. It will also begin at 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's 1 p.m. Eastern time. All the qualification rounds will be streamed. We will get to a final 40, and then we will crown on Sunday a 2018 Classic Tetris World Champion. My name is Arda Cal. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Good stuff.